So, how does it work? We're doing the character building after the speaker. Okay, because it's 6, so I can start while you set up if you want. Okay. No, I still have my phone. All right, ladies, eyes up. I know some of you said you were hoping we'd end early, so if we start on time, we end on time. All right, you guys, so while we wait for our speaker, we're going to go ahead and go over our second character building lesson today. Well, first of all, how are you guys feeling on this Wednesday? Good. Yeah, I was like, I only heard from Tina. Jamie, how are you feeling today? Yeah. Yeah. Well, if it makes you guys excited, this is our last practice walk/run before our big race on Saturday. So I hope you guys are excited about that. Yeah, hopefully it cools down. It hasn't been as hot as it can be, so hopefully it, by the time we get to race day, it's not as hot. So we do have a speaker today before we do our walk/run. She is from the Shield Bearer Counseling Services. So afterwards, she will provide us with her contact information if you guys would like to receive any of her counseling or therapy services. She is offering a portion of the services that they offer, but they also do have really cool services for really, really, really cheap prices. There's a scale, so it can work within almost everyone's budget, if not all. So that's a really cool thing that we have. So we're going to get started with our character building lesson today, like I said, so that way there, by the time she comes on, we can already have started. So we're going to go over teamwork. So I think it was really cool. Before some of us came in here, we were actually talking, me, Eugenia, Kira, and Tiffany, just about support and what it means. And Tina, I think you kind of walked in on that, what it means to have support. And so we're talking about teamwork, which kind of goes hand in hand, right? So coming together is a beginning, staying together is a progress, and working together is success. Okay? What does that mean to you guys? Coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success.
It means building relationships.
Building relationships?
It means to me, like when I came to the program, I didn't know any of the ladies. And it was a new beginning. And as I started knowing them, we built up a lot of understanding, respect for each other, trust. And I started opening up a lot more. And as we got to the high school, we built a remarkable friendship and a bond that I think that is real healthy, especially for me because I'm not one of those that I have a lot of trust issues when it comes to women, and I don't trust women too freely. And me opening up and trusting and knowing that I have a great support system with these ladies, it means a lot to me.
Nice. I couldn't have said it. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better than myself. So again, right? That's what we get out of building that bond, out of working as a team. Even with it walking and running, right? A lot of the time I've seen you guys stop for somebody else who was behind. Someone gets a blister. Someone's going to stop and stay there with you, right? Someone's at the front with you saying, go, go, go. And I think that's always important when you're working towards a goal, right? That teamwork, that support network. That quote is by Henry Ford. He was the founder of the Ford Motor Company, who also is credited with developing the assembly production line, right? Teamwork. So what is teamwork? So teamwork is the collaborative effort of a group to achieve a common goal or to complete a task in the most effective and efficient way, right? So our goal is the 5K race. We're working together. Yes, we're running by ourselves technically, but you're surrounded by other women who are also trying to accomplish the same goal, right? We're doing it by ourselves, but we're doing it together. That's teamwork. So what does it actually mean to be a part of a team? Teamwork involves, like Eugenia said, I couldn't have said it better myself, building relationships. How are you going to be on a team if you don't support each other? How are you going to build a team if you don't even know who your teammates are, right? You can't trust someone to be on your team if you don't even know who that person is that you're trusting, okay? You have to know that this person is going to be here for me if I fall or if the back of my foot starts bleeding, right? So there's a few important skills and habits when you start building those relationships. One of them is working cooperatively. So again, right, when we're all participating, when we're all engaged, when we're all joining in on these webinars, that's collaboration, right? Contributing to groups with ideas, with suggestions, with effort. Not once have I ever seen one of you ladies not give your best effort. I haven't been here long, but since I've been here, all of you guys push through. I've seen you guys sweating and complaining and bleeding, literally. And yet you guys give your best effort every single time. And so already you guys have one of the most valuable skills in teamwork, right? It's a team effort, but it's individual effort that's going to build team effort. Then communication, right? Both giving and receiving. So I know that, like Eugenia said and like Tina said, right? You have to talk to people. You have to be able to not only listen to other people's stories, but you have to be able to tell yours as well. And again, that comes from trust, trusting your teammates, knowing that, okay, I'm going to tell you this because I know you support me, and I'm going to listen to you in return because I support you in return, right? We have to be able to communicate. And sometimes communication doesn't always look the same. What one person needs is maybe not what someone else needs. And that's why it's important to communicate that. Communicate, I need support and it looks like this. Or I need this and it looks like that, because it looks different for everybody. Then you have a sense of responsibility, okay? Responsibility, coming here on time, walking, running, participating, doing the Zumba, right? All of you guys were moving during Zumba. We may not have been doing, the exact dance moves, but we were all moving, right? We were all responsible for our own journey. We're all responsible for making it to the finish line, okay? And then healthy respect for different opinions, traditions, and individual preferences. We're not all the same. No one is the same person. No one is going to believe in the same things or the same ideas. But that's what's important when we go back to communication and building that trust. Being able to freely open up and have a conversation, have that discussion, opening it up to trust that, okay, I may feel like this and I may not agree with you, but I'm going to respect your opinion because I respect you as a person, right? And something that I was taught a long time ago by my mom is never attack the person, you attack the idea. So if you challenge an idea, you're challenging that idea, but you're not challenging that person, right? You discuss what it is that you have at topic at hand, but you don't get personal, okay? And that's what it means to respect someone else's ideas, someone else's opinions, knowing that I believe in this and you believe in that, and that's okay. And we can still build a bond outside of that and just understand where the other person is coming from. And then also the ability to participate in a group decision-making. So something literally as simple as making the team name together, right? I actually loved your guys' team name. I remember when I came on the Zoom and I was getting ready to collect all these papers And Teresa was like, yeah, it's the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I was like, that's so cute. Like, it's the team effort, right? Being able to come together and say, this is what we're going to do and this is how we're going to do it. Or even decision making when we go outside. And I've heard you guys say, I'm going to walk with you today, or I'm going to come up there with you today, or I'll be back here with you. Decision making. It doesn't have to be some grand, big thing. It's the little things, the everyday things that matter too, when we're building that teamwork. That builds the foundation so that way there we can get to those bigger decisions. And what are some benefits to working as part of a team? I mean, we heard you guys, right? The support, knowing that you have someone there, knowing that you're not doing it alone, not feeling alone. You also, it's a desirable skill in the workplace. 9 times out of 10, you're going to work with somebody else. And if you don't know how to work on a team, that is going to hinder you in the future because you are going to have to interact with other people. You're going to have to work as a team. Another benefit is it fosters diversity of thought, right? I came from California, super liberal, super progressive. Then I moved to Tennessee. You know, it was a little different. It was not a little bit, it was a lot different. It was a lot different, you know, but I really learned the value of just seeing where someone else is coming from. And I had my thought process, but it was very eye-opening to be able to hear how other people view things as well. I still may not agree with it, but again, I learned how to respect how other people think about things. And then, like I said, then I went from Tennessee to Texas. Exactly. So now we're back to square one, right? But again, that thought process, respecting people's thoughts. Then you get to also divide the workload so the tasks become faster. You're not going to skip out on doing your 5K. You can't say, oh, you do a mile, I'll do a mile, you do a mile, right? But in general, when you work as a team, you are dividing tasks and then you conquer it. Those little tasks become even smaller and they become less daunting when you have a team to do it with you. And then working alone makes it harder to get early and continual feedback, right? So you're not really giving the best quality outwardly when you're working alone, right? So again, if I'm running alone, I'll probably walk so much more. I probably will, cut corners maybe a little bit. I may not be as efficient. I may not I may not do the 3.1 miles. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. But when you do it as a team, it just makes the product that you produce so much better, right? Because then we're all crossing that line together. The product is beautiful. We all did 3.1 miles now. We all did the 5K, right? So I just want you guys to make sure you think about that when you get tired on Saturday. It's hot. You got sweat in your eyes. Just know that there's someone right in front of you and there's someone right behind you that's going to keep on going with you, okay? And don't throw up, please. If you are, I will not support you. I don't like throw up. I'm just kidding. I'm going to support and love you from a distance. But I will not be coming to the rescue. Someone else can. Okay? So like I said, today we are going to do we're doing 1.5 miles today, right? We're going to do our 1.5 miles today. We are going to have a speaker for about 10, 15 minutes. I think it's really beneficial. She talks about mental health and how to deal with stress and anxiety. Again, those are healthy things to feel, but she talks about dealing with it in a healthy way. Okay. What time is it? She should actually be logging on any second now. Are you already logged in? I'm logged in. The meeting is on. So I'm going to go ahead and go on the back and disappear for a second just so she can come on the screen and talk to you guys. And then afterwards, I will send the flyer to, who should I send it to? There's a flyer, Miss Regina. Okay, I'll send it to Miss Regina to send to you all to have whenever, you're feeling overwhelmed or you're feeling a little bit stressed. I think her flyer will really come in handy. Okay. Oh yeah, I'll give you guys your test scores too. Not right now, but I will. I will. Aw, yeah, Teresa's. Oh yep, she is on and ready. Hi, Courtney. Can you hear me?
I sure can. Sorry, I was muted.
Oh, it's okay. They're logging in as we speak. I'm gonna go ahead and make you a co-host
Okay.
so I can spotlight it. They're just connecting to audio, but they'll be on in a second.
No worries.
And thank you. They really enjoyed it. It was really, really helpful for that first session. So I really appreciate it.
Good. You're very, very welcome.
And I need to start our video. Okay, Mika, what do you think? Can you hear us?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, good. I turn it over to Mika.
All right, ladies. So as I said, this is our last check-in, our May check-in, and it is on mental health and wellness.
I don't know how to.
All right, so
echo. Okay.
it's echoing. Should I go over there? Yeah, I have my AirPods in. And just talk into the computer? What about now?
Yeah, we just hear your voice back here and it.
Okay, I'll try not
It's
to
okay.
be so loud.
Okay.
Okay. So our guest speaker today is Courtney Wright. Courtney oversees the clinical team in service of client care. She leads program and training development, and she manages service delivery as clinical director at Shield Bearer Counseling Centers. She has more than 9 years of experience with direct client care, and her clinical background includes work in community mental health settings, sexual and domestic violence crisis centers, offenders of violence, and employee assistance programs. She also has a wide range of experience as a community educator on intimate partner violence and trauma. Her clinical experience has been focused on intimate partner violence, including survivors and offenders, mental health and other personality disorders. She loves to participate in the growth of clients and counselors as a board-approved licensed professional counselor supervisor, and she holds a BA in psychology and master's in community counseling from the University of Texas at San Antonio. And outside of work, she loves all things Disney. She is a die-hard Astros baseball and University of Texas Longhorn football fan. She enjoys traveling and spending time with her family and friends and her 2 dogs. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I am going to give it to Courtney. Let me make this full screen for you. All right, Courtney, can you hear us?
I sure can. Hi there. All righty. Well, thank you all so much for having me, and thank you, Mika. I don't know if I saw in the back people were throwing horns or they were doing the Aggie sign, but either way, thank you, and I enjoy having these conversations with your groups, and I hope that this information this evening is helpful. I've been invited to talk this evening about some strategies on reducing stress and anxiety. And this conversation is going to be more generalized. As a clinician, I work with individuals to hone in on what particular areas of stress and anxiety are they experiencing and identify very targeted techniques and interventions for them. Because not everybody likes doing mindfulness work. Not everybody has the same scope, the same coping skills, and what usually works for one person may not work for somebody else. So tonight we're going to be talking about general tips and strategies on how to help with reducing anxiety and stress. So as Mika mentioned earlier, a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of stress is actually a healthy thing. When we think about the evolutionary experiences of humans, we're supposed to experience those emotions. Now, when you are overcome by stress or you are overcome by anxiety, that's when it becomes what we say maladaptive. When you no longer are able to live a fruitful, connected, healthy life because those experiences of stress and anxiety have taken over. When that starts to happen, not all the time can our brains say, Courtney, you're experiencing anxiety. What Courtney experiences is an upset stomach. Courtney experiences irritability and quick to anger. Courtney experiences hot flashes, right? Courtney might experience tension in my body. Courtney might feel very, very tired. These are all experiences that my body is having before I can connect it at all to why I'm having those experiences. So somatic is what we're talking about, what our body experiences, and cognitions is what I think about. And my body is always going to experience those before my cognitions will. And that's all evolutionary, right? That's just how we were built, and how we developed through time. And what caused stress for people 100 years ago is not the same thing of, stress that we experience now. 200 years ago, they didn't have outside toilets, right? We get upset if we can't find an open one now. So it's all very relative, right, to time and to people's experiences. But these are some general strategies that if you picked apart the techniques, they could help everybody, okay? So the first one that we're going to talk about is mindfulness. Mindfulness is when you can recognize your who, what, when, and where, and why. What am I experiencing right now? What is my body experiencing right now? Do I feel hot? Do I feel physically comfortable? Do I feel jittery? Okay. What am I thinking about? Am I super nervous about the people in the audience watching me? Okay. What do I have on my body that's causing me comfort or discomfort? And how do I need to make those changes? Right? What is in my environment that's causing me to feel uncomfortable? Or what's in my environment that's causing me to feel safe? We want to be careful not just to focus our mindfulness on the things that are causing us discomfort, but we want to also focus on our mindfulness on the things that are allowing us to feel pleasure and comfort, right? And happiness. Because if we sit there and only focused on the things that are negative, that's not going to be beneficial for anyone. Right? Research shows how important it is to show gratitude, how important it is to be happy, right? And all those things are super important. Hey, Mika, my screen went a little crazy there. And I lost the, there we go. Thank you so much. Now I get to see myself and I don't get to see y'all. And so now I'm just going to feel like I'm talking to myself, which means that I will enjoy everything I'm saying. Just kidding. Okay, so
Can you see it now?
I sure can. Thank you so much. So the next one we're going to talk about is grounding and orientating. And what that means is to take care of our minds so that we are recognizing that we are in right now present. I am not thinking about my past, which often can cause guilt, anxiety, shame, fear, maybe. And I'm not thinking about my future, which is going to cause anticipatory anxiety or anticipatory feelings of shame or fear. Right now, I'm going to stay in this present, surrounded by the things that I am mindful of. Okay. And there's lots of different strategies on how we can orientate or ground. We were talking earlier today about techniques such as progressive muscle relaxation, where you can identify a particular muscle group and put all your attention to that area, make it very, very tight, and then intentionally releasing it. That's one way to stay grounded. The third is acceptance and compassion. It is so easy for us to show acceptance and compassion to those that we love, even when they make some of the biggest mistakes, right? We say, oh, I understand it. You were having a bad day. Not a problem. My daughter is the first one to give me a hug after I get a little irritable because I come in and she's made a mess all over my counter. I'm sorry, mommy. I'm sorry, right? She's the first one to show me that compassion. Now, the question is, am I showing that acceptance and compassion to myself? Right? Now, we're not letting ourselves off the hook for the behavior that we experience because of increased stress and anxiety. It would never be okay for me to harm anybody because I was feeling incredibly anxious. Right? But it is okay to say, you know what? I'm having a bad day. Today was awful. And I just need a minute. And that's okay. I'm going to give myself permission to have that. It also means that it's okay to say that I'm not okay. I used the example earlier. If you run into a friend and y'all are chatting and they say, how are you today? Right? And usually the first thing we'll say is, oh, I'm okay. Everything's okay, right? Well, it's okay to say, you know what? I'm having a cruddy day. Today was not a good one. I'm feeling a little off key, but I'm glad to be here with you now, right? So it's okay to not be okay and to allow ourselves to feel that. The fourth one we talk about is boundaries. If you've ever heard of boundaries, I like to define it as the lines that we put around ourselves to keep protected, right? We've got physical boundaries like our homes, our clothes. We've got spiritual and emotional and psychological boundaries where somebody can't come and yell at me and scream at me and call me names. That's not okay with me. I'm going to walk away, right? And that's the way I protect my heart. So we have boundaries that help protect us. Now, are we identifying what our boundaries are? Are we holding those accountable that infringe on our boundaries? Are we obeying our own boundaries? Are we listening to our own boundaries and saying, you know what, Courtney, you said you weren't going to do that and you did it again. Let's have a conversation, right? So boundaries help keep us protected. Boundaries can also keep us from moving forward. So it's really important that we balance that out. Boundaries are really, really important to have. The next, we talk about practicing self-care. Now, I know that's a buzzword, right? And we see it in all the self-help magazines and maybe in Cosmo or Us Weekly or whatever you read. No judgment. But what is your self-care habit, right? And frankly speaking, it just means that you are not pouring from an empty cup, that you are not just giving, and never making sure to take care of yourself. Now, I'm a mom, and it's very, very common for me to say, I'm going to go without, or I'll eat dinner later, or I will take care of myself when she goes to bed, right? Now, if I'm not taking care of myself in between times, am I being able to be the mom that I want to be? Am I the friend that I want to be? Am I the partner that I want to be? So practicing self-care, again, looks very different for everybody. However, we do know that we want to make healthy lifestyle choices. We want to eat well and exercise and get enough sleep, right? Using drugs or drinking or consuming too much alcohol. Those things aren't healthy lifestyle choices for a number of reasons. We want to have fun. We want to play. There's been so much research that shows how important having fun and laughter is to our own growth, to how it helps us feel connected. If you've ever laughed, and sometimes I talk about the difference between crying and laughing, and how crying can be an extremely satisfying way of self-care. Think about crying, and when you cry, because maybe you're sad or you're angry or you're grief-stricken, right? Those tears are chemically different than the tears that you have when you've laughed so hard because your best friend said something that was the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, and you are laughing to the point of crying, right? Chemically, those tears are different. And that just goes to show how important self-care can be on our biosystems. Okay. Now, again, self-care looks differently for everybody. And in the time of coronavirus, it looks probably different than what it did a year and a half ago. I can't just go hang out with my friends safely or in a way that I feel safe. I can't just go get my nails done, certainly not last year around this time, right? So it looks a little bit different. And then lastly, connection. Finding connection with each other and with a professional network is critically important. Research shows that if you have one person in your life, just one, the likelihood of you succumbing to major risk factors that can cause you harm later reduces. Your resiliency increases. So humans are meant to be connected creatures. Find and seek those safe support systems. Find and seek the professional help when you need it. That's where Shield Bearer can come in. Shield Bearer is a counseling center. We provide mental health supportive services to those that are in need. We offer sliding scales, and we do take insurance. So we are one of many, many professional groups out there that can provide help and support. With that, that's the end of my presentation. I don't know how much time I have or if there's an opportunity for questions. Mika, I'm just seeing myself on the screen. So if there's a question or a thought, I can't see that. Now I can see, I think Teresa, is that Teresa over there? Hi, Teresa. And everyone's back there masked up. So hopefully I haven't put you to sleep, but if there's any questions that you have that I can answer for just a minute or so.
Doesn't look like we have any questions, Courtney.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm happy for Mika to pass out my information. If anybody has any questions, you feel free to call me or send me an email. Good luck on your run. I think it's Saturday. Yay. Congratulations, y'all. Good luck. I know you're going to smash it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Courtney.
Take care.
Thank you, Courtney.
Bye.
Bye.